the moment they touch down on Mahi's stolen runway, travellers are anxious to absorb the intoxicating atmosphere of these tempting tropical islands, the destination of their dreams. They are greeted with languid air and warm sunshine, exotic aromas laced with the scent of the sea, overtures of the delights of foreign shores, a foreign culture, and a foreign people. To these excited, expectant and impressionable guests, the Seychelles are the privileged custodians of Earth's only existing paradise, and as such are regarded with admiration, curiosity and more than a little envy. First impressions are gleaned from the cool and efficient passport control officers, the usually expedient conveyance of luggage and the sharp-eyed gentlemen at customs control. Formalities over, they step out into the real Seychelles. Where neatly uniformed tour operators have an expert skill of identifying their clients, greeting them with a smile and guiding them to appropriate buses, which will distribute them to their various hotels around Mahi. It soon becomes apparent that the idyllic scenes portrayed on glossy brochures do indeed materialize into exaggerated splendor. The only dilemma facing the euphoric tourist is which excursion to choose, to where and when. A tempting range of affordable day excursions are offered by tour operators represented at each hotel. One of the most popular excursions is Mason's Reef Safari to Moyenne. Clients board Mason's Coral Queen at Marine Charter for a short ride to the heart of the St. Anne Marine National Park, in the company of an expert local guide and skipper.
So good morning everybody, my name is Veronica and I'll be the guide for the day, and our captain is Francis. So for the program, so we're going first on the semi-submersible, and this will be for the viewing of the fishes and the corals. And normally we stay inside for about half an hour, and afterwards we come back to this normal boat, and we'll be stopping on the reef barrier for the fish feeding. We have some bread for the fishes, and then I will give you a brief history of all the islands in the marine park, and then we proceed to Moyenne Island. Okay? So we also have snorkeling today in the program, snorkeling with the mask, the flippers, and the tube. And this is at around 11:30 for those who'd like to. And it will be for about 1 hour, okay? 11:30 until 12:30. But those who don't want, either you can stay on Moyenne Island, go walking around the island, or swim. Then we have lunch at 1 o'clock, okay, in the restaurant of the island, and it will be a Creole buffet self-service.
After this meal of a lifetime, the afternoon is at leisure to swim, sunbathe or slumber, serenaded by the impromptu Mason's Quartet. Certainly a day to remember.
Really idyllic islands and a lovely day out. Excellent, lovely meal, very well organised.
The girl from Mason was very nice.
Being in the tourism industry myself, it's always great to see how other tourist operators work.
I've really enjoyed today because I've had very good service. Everybody seems to be enjoying their jobs. Everybody seems to be very happy.
It's absolutely fantastic. I think it's well organised and the scenery is tremendous. I've never been to the more beautiful place in the whole wide world.
Ah, c'est magnifique.
The food been very good and the atmosphere also. So it's a very good team spirit with the members of Mason.
Okay. Marina, 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 ti voglio più presto sposare. Non mi lasciare, non mi devi nominare. Oh na 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 na. Tu mia bella mora.
Reluctantly, guests leave the inimitable Brendan Grimshaw and his dog Emma to their paradise retreat and return to Mahi. Mason's Reef Safari is doubtless a highlight of everyone's holiday. But what about a little island hopping? No trip to Seychelles is complete without a trip to Praslin and La Digue. A 15-minute flight from Mahi brings clients to Praslin's air terminal, where they are met by local guides. Gemma from TSS and Marie-Paul from NTA. With Marie-Paul, it's straight to the legendary Valley de Mai, home of the Coco de Mer.
The Coco de Mer itself is grown only on the two islands of Praslin and Curious in the natural state. If you've seen the Coco de Mer on Mahi, that means in the botanical garden, it has been planted, not natural. The Coco de Mer itself was first discovered for the first time into the world of Maldives, Sri Lanka and Indonesia. The Coco de Mer itself takes 3 years to start to germinate. After the first 18 months, it started to produce the first taproot, 1 meter each to the length. 7 to 8 years to be matured, 20 to 25 years to start to bear the first fruit.
These awesome palms with their giant leaves and evocative fruits enthrall every visitor, as does the promise of a glimpse of the rare black parrot in this Garden of Eden. TSS takes its guests directly to the jetty at Bay St Anne for an exhilarating ferry crossing to La Digue. William Rose runs a very slick ferry service. Schedules are strictly adhered to by a highly professional crew. The unforgettable sight of the picturesque harbour, azure sky and sea, and colourful boats have done much to boost the sales of Kodak film in Seychelles.
Enjoy your stay.
This is an untouched world of primitive beauty and tranquility, a world where transport is by ox wagon or bicycle, and the factory runs on human endeavour and ancient tradition.
In the past, coconut husk was used for the fiber for mattresses, coil it for ropes, and also for floor mats. With a piece of wood that's been sharpened, they use it to remove the husk. The coconut itself, this is taken afterwards to the shed over there for preparation for the drying process. And for the preparations of the copra, they have special knives. This is the one they use to cut open the coconut. By giving a couple of blows, the coconut bursts open. The coconut milk, we have to desiccate the coconut, add water and press so we get the milk. And not what you call the milk. It's the actual water we drink that you call it the milk. As the ox goes around, this piece of wood also, it turns around and crushes the copra. So as the copra is crushed, you can see down here where the oil filters out into the bucket. Coconut oil is used mostly in the preparation of cosmetics.
A leisurely stroll through L'Union Estate leads to the plantation house. Meandering ponies and exotic vanilla vines, and the giant tortoises, penned under the ancient granite outcrop. Spirited tourists have no qualms attempting to ride these antique beasts, a ritual they bear with lazy tolerance. Then it's on to the breathtaking beauty of Saut d'Argent, where the lure of turquoise waters beckons game snorkelers and bathers. Enterprising souvenir peddlers have set up shop on the fringe of these shores, and if someone's in need of a hat, the locals will weave a masterpiece in minutes. Patient beasts of burden lumber back on broken roads to Gregoire's Island Lodge for a sumptuous lunch. The restaurant is a gourmet mecca of authentic Creole cuisine. Grilled fish, spicy curry, lentils, rice and chutneys are followed by cool passion fruit sorbet. Delicious indeed.
Boire de la bière, c'est pas une bonne mentalité. How the food? Are you enjoying it? Are you sure? Good appetit.
Time that may stand still on this beautiful island, but not for the tourist. The enchanted exploration of La Digue ends when the visitors return to the ferry for the return journey to Praslin. The wide beach of Anse-Volbert is the next stop. This time to laze on the shores, swim in the tepid waters, and have a refreshing drink at one of the beachside bars, before heading for the airstrip.
Today it's been superb. You know, we flew over this morning and we've had a wonderful trip around the island here, and we've had a fantastic day.
I think the tour has been quite satisfactory. I think the information that the guide has given has been quite thorough.
We were looking for fine weather, warm sea, white beaches and nature, and we all found it.
We've enjoyed TSS very much. We've enjoyed Gamma's guidance. She has guided us very well. She's been very entertaining and very helpful. I think the TSS guides and the whole service we've had has been excellent.
The tour guide is very informative, knows all the Latin names of all the plants.
I used to work for some times with forestry and conservation. There I learned more about the plants and the birds, so that gave me sort of an interest. Being a tour guide, you learn a lot. It means if you are interested, you can't, if someone gives you notes, even one will give you everything. If you're not interested, it won't fit in. You need to be very interested in what you do. It's very difficult for the young people nowadays because they want to go out, they want to enjoy life. Because as a tour guide, you have a lot to do. It's a long day.
Full day indeed, but worth every rupee, the guests agree. Another memorable day excursion is travel services sortie to Round Island. The journey starts at marine charter in a glass-bottomed boat through Victoria Harbour and into the marine park. Guests board TSS's subsea viewer, Starfish.
Well, eventually the visit will take place in quite a very bit shallow water, so eventually you find we are quite closer of the coral place. There's nothing to scaring about. It's only the glass which is magnified and brings everything so close that you can able to oppose it again. Well, eventually your camera should be placing about 6 to 8 centimeters on the glass of the boat. Well, eventually we have to bring out a piece of beautiful, colorful piece of coral there.
Then it's feeding time for the hundreds of fish that splash to the surface for breadcrumbs and photographs.
The smaller one at the front here, this is going to be Round Island. It's the island we actually going to spending our day. So along the side of Round, to your right side, there's a nice one, a beautiful beach all alongside, nice, beautiful house and super jetty. This is not to be Long Island. Well, eventually, nobody knows about this one. Well, as far as Seychelles, this is the only island we're offering free holidays, people. So if anybody would like to spend some free holidays, no problem, we can offering it to Long Island, which is the paradise prison of Seychelles.
Experienced snorkelers take the plunge while novices are patiently coached into the wonders of the underwater world.
Take it easy. How you manage? Okay, put down your head now. Let's see. Just keep holding the boat. For 10 more seconds, keep your head down. So you just relax in your breath, that's all.
So, everything there was to be seen, it was beautiful. All the colours were super. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was very good. Brilliant. It's really good fun. Thanks so much.
Got some good photographs.
The colours are fantastic. And you're right up beside us, beautiful.
Very good, yet a lot of fishes there.
The mouth-watering aroma of grilled tuna steaks and aubergine fritters wafts across the ocean at the approaching launch. Greeted by host Paul Horner, hungry visitors hurry to the shaded open-air restaurant on Round Island. Small wonder that Sheikh Abbey has a reputation as Seychelles' best meal.
Chicken curry, fish curry, lentil, pumpkin and coconut.
Se no qui. Questo qua è l'olio e aceto semplice. Ma tu deve usare. No, this is fish curry. Questo è fish curry. Questa è lenticchia rossa, questa è la zucca e questa è usata di coco.
The small kitchen staff is ferried to Round Island every day to prepare this sumptuous feast for visitors. Striking flamboyant trees provide ample shade for a cosy chat with newfound friends, taking a nap or simply admiring the view. Sleeping beauties transform the jetty. Even the boat crew succumb to the spell of the island's magic. A perfect day in paradise.
Absolutely wonderful place, wonderful people. And then I'm an easygoing person, so life's easy.
I found it really beautiful. The weather's been wonderful, a few showers. We've been on a few trips and we've enjoyed it very much.
We made all our excursions with one travel agency here, and we were very happy with them.
This sort of service is pitched right for the tourists.
I think the tours are quite they're expensive, but it's good value for money. You know, they've been really helpful and interesting.
When you take a groups out, you have to show what you're doing. So you have to be really guarantee your responsibility like a guide. And also you try to give your best service as possible for your clients to feel enjoy. Because you're coming back, what you respect is a very big thanks from everybody and a very good day we're spending with you. So it means this will prove your companies too.
The travel agency that arranged my trip was TSS, and I found that was superb. There was always somebody waiting to meet me. There were never problems with my bookings, and if I wanted to change anything, they were very ready to do that.
The two operators that handled our itinerary in the Seychelles were Masons, and I must say they were quite exceptional. Their image, their dress, their friendliness was impeccable, and I like their itinerary. They obviously know what the tourist is looking for, and I think were quite exceptional and no complaints there at all.
I think the tourist infrastructure, from the point of view of the tour operators, is very good. They are running a very, very wonderful service. The only little area of hesitation that you have is in the service in restaurants and in hotels and all that sort of thing, where it's a bit slower and a bit low-keyed.
The service, I think, could be a bit improved. It's perhaps for European standards, maybe a little bit on the slow side.
When I came to the Seychelles, I was very disappointed with the services. It was very slow, laid back. They made a big point of greeting you when you go to the restaurant in the evening, but after that they forgot about you. And you just had to wait a long time for your meal, or they would take your meal away before you were actually finished with it. In Kenya, they looked after you exceptionally well, attended to every need. Here, they almost seem as if it's a chore to help you. If you ask them anything, it's nonplus. They're not bothered whether they give you an answer or not.
They're very laid back, but then again, this is how they are this end of the world.
And perhaps coming from a hectic city environment like we do, the whole style of life seems very laid back and perhaps irritating to us. So I suppose a lot of it comes from our side.
In 5 years' time, when the world will still be in a recession, doubtless, people aren't going to come here and pay top dollar for service which is shoddy.
And what about car hire service?
We booked a car hoping to have it for the whole day. We eventually got the car at plus minus 10 o'clock in the morning. The car was not sound mechanically. Wheels were unbalanced. The spare tire was flat in the sense that there was no tread on the tire as well. I couldn't find a jack in the car. There was no jack in the car to jack up the tire if it broke down. There was no petrol in the car, so we still had to then go and place another 100 rupees. So we're talking 475 rupees just to get the car going and get started. The car's really old, really unsafe to drive. If I came back here, I definitely wouldn't hire a car here again. The service of hiring the car, it was delivered very speedily, there was no problem, but the quality of vehicle, I think, could be improved.
We found them very efficient.
Except no petrol.
We found that when we got into the car, there was no petrol at all. All we could do was freewheel down the hill from our hotel to a garage that was closed.
Food for thought. But what's on the menu?
I thought the cooking was very good. I thought the Creole foods particularly were very exciting and interesting and different. I was surprised at how bad the quality of the fruit was. I would have expected better papayas. I would have expected wonderful mangoes. I was very surprised to discover that the coconuts and the mangoes are imported from Kenya. It seems like such a perfect place to be growing them. And there just seems to be a lack of interest in producing those crops locally. And therefore, salads and things like that are not really up to scratch at all. The vegetables and the fruit were disappointing.
At the moment, we're staying in the Fisherman's Cove, and we find it, an extremely nice hotel. The only thing we do find wrong, basically, is the food, which is on a buffet type every day. And the food is very repetitive.
I found the food a little bit disappointing. I got the feeling that they were doing the best they could with what was available. It was well cooked. I loved the Creole cooking. It was very interesting and unusual, but not terribly exciting, the food generally.
Very rich food. We didn't get fat, we got swollen in the grease.
And various hotels around Mahi.
We're staying at the Auberge Club, and it's very good. We're very happy there. It's quiet, it's peaceful, exactly what we came for.
Right now I'm staying at Reef Hotel. So, the first impressions, it could be compared to the hotels in Mauritius,
The plantation is super. C'est dire en anglais. It's super. It's magic.
In South Africa, the travel agents have a saying that Mauritius is a 3-star island with 5-star hotels, and Seychelles is a 5-star island with 3-star hotels. And I'm afraid that that's true to a certain extent. It's not that the hotels are bad. The hotels, they do their job. You are comfortable and they are quite beautifully located and all that sort of thing. But there's a level of service that you don't get, that one does look for, a level of attentiveness. And it would be nice to feel that the Seychelles are pleased to welcome tourists. Sometimes you feel as if you're just the job they have to do that day, not as if they are really pleased to have you there. And that personal touch would make the islands a real paradise.
And I think that starts when you get onto that plane with the air hostesses who were not very friendly.
We have to work hard for 50 weeks of the year to come for 2 weeks of luxury. This is just a breath of fresh air for us to carry on for the rest of the year. The Seychelles have the sunshine 52 weeks of the year. They have the lovely beaches. You know, it's paradise, isn't it? We only have it for a fortnight.
The attitude, perhaps, of the people could be a little bit more forthcoming.
My other experiences were of islands such as Mauritius. I found the Mauritians exceptionally friendly and beautiful, but very touristy. So Seychelles was less touristy, but the people, by comparison, not quite as friendly. I found they didn't smile, they didn't make tourists feel welcome. It wasn't as if they were hungry for tourists' money.
They don't seem to enjoy their work. They seem to think that the tourists are a bit of a bother. That's how I feel about it. We just seem to be in the way, basically.
The Seychelles seem to be very reserved people. And when you spend a bit of time with them and you meet them over a couple of days, they open up and they are very warm and very friendly. Their way is to be private first. And that's fine if you're there for a couple of days, but the tourist comes in for 1 or 2 days only, and they need an instant welcoming friendliness. And I think that's one of the things that I missed in the Seychelles, that openness was not there. If the smiles of the people who greet you in the hotel were as beautiful and as open as the beaches and the sky, it would be a wonderful, wonderful holiday destination.
The tourist finds the cost of eating out a little hard to digest.
I don't suppose you can pay for the beauty that the islands offer. It's expensive.
I think it is expensive, but that keeps it nice, stops crowds coming here and makes it, keeps the quality up. The hotel's been lovely, beach is superb, nothing to complain about.
It does come as a shock after Europe, you know, to pay for what you pay for a snack.
But then we knew this before we came. They said it was very expensive. It was just a holiday of a lifetime and it was expensive.
In comparison to Germany, where we come from, it's expensive. It's expensive, more expensive than in Germany, yes. And the shopping is very interesting. We have been to Victoria on the market, and the shops are quite different than what we know.
The Seychelles is an expensive option, but what your money buys is what none of those other islands give you. The natural world of the Seychelles is much less spoiled than those other places. The birds on Bird Island, the sanctuaries on Cousin Island, the coral reef around St. Pierre in the St. Anne National Park, they are superb. I would say they are probably the best in the world. So if that's what you're spending your money on, you will get your money's worth in the Seychelles.
It really looked like the brochures. It wasn't just blown up on the brochures. It's really like it was presented to us on the brochures.
Well, we were both working very hard and we were looking for a place where we could come and relax and enjoy ourselves, and particularly to see the marine life. That's what we were really looking forward to.
So you get here and it's just wonderful. It lifts your spirits totally. It actually gives you more energy to face the world when you leave again. You know, and it actually makes leaving that much sadder.
Tourism lies at the heart of Seychelles' economy. It represents employment for 73% of the labour force and draws tens of millions of rupees in foreign exchange annually. Love them or loathe them, Seychelles needs tourists. Over 100,000 visitors per year take home more than just tans, t-shirts and photographs. Their impressions of Seychelles are shared across the globe. They do not expect to be treated like royalty. Just good service, simple courtesy. A hello, a please or a thank you would reflect your pride in this unique and enviable heritage and cost you nothing. Competition is tough in this shrinking world of travel. Let us give the tourists only good impression to take with them.
Very nice accommodation, the food no good, but I love Seychelles and I can't wait to come back again as soon as I can.
we found that the people were not always maybe as friendly as we would have hoped, just in general on the island when we travelled and moved around.
If the tourist is handled correctly and considered, there's a fortune to be made in this place. There's nothing in the world like the Seychelles.
If you want more tourists into the Seychelles, protect your environment with all the strength you've got, because that is your greatest treasure, and learn to smile when the tourists arrive, because they are much happier with the Seychelles, and they will make you even happier with the money they leave behind.
Et ça, bien sûr, c'est le dernier item de nos programmes pour tantôt. Avant que nous séparions, nous allons avant-goût programme qui peut passer dans des semaines. Pour le moment, bonsoir.